Right, we're live, which is fantastic. So welcome, folks. Welcome back to another WP-Tonic workshop with my colleague Haroon, a member of the WP-Tonic team. And in this video workshop, we're going to be delving into all things Fluent Forms and how it works with Fluent CRM, which I think is one of the most dynamic, exciting WordPress plugin companies that have entered the scene in the last couple of years, and they've got some fantastic products. They've emptied my wallet with me buying their products, which I'm totally happy to do because I think they offer really, really interesting products, and that Joel and his team offer great support. So I think they're the best in the they're some of the best in the WordPress scene. Jill is sending me the check for those kind words tomorrow. But I do honestly believe that. So, Haroon, would you like to quickly introduce yourself to the WP-Tonic tribe?
Certainly. Thank you, Jonathan. Pleasure to be here as always. And hello, everyone. I'm Haroon Raja. I've been working in the WordPress ecosystem for the past 13 years or so. I'm currently working as a consultant for Jonathan's agency, as well as business by the name of Happy Cloud. And CRM has been one of my specialties, one of my areas of expertise, in which several businesses automate a lot of things with WordPress and bring into WordPress things that they were previously automating using SaaS platforms, so that they now have control over everything and everything works better in a more cohesive way, our WordPress ecosystem for them.
Right. So, Haroon, what are we going to be doing in this workshop?
Yes, so we're gonna take a look at Fluent CRM and walk you guys through its settings and maybe build a simple automation or two, and or maybe any email sequence or two, and tell you about all of its major features.
And are we going to be able to kind of integrate that a little bit with Fluent Forms?
Maybe to like some extent in this session. If not in this one, then maybe in the next
Yeah,
session.
sure.
We're going
to do two. It's a big subject, and we're going to do like 2 to 3 videos, at least 2 videos on this subject, which you'll be able to see this month. And we're probably, as we normally do, we got like one video, one or maybe probably 2 videos in December, at the beginning of December. So we'll be doing a deep dive in the whole subject. So, Haroon, do you want to share your screen and we'll kick it off?
Yes. I'm just trying to reset the current installation first so that we can scratch. So I'll just be a minute, and then
so I will fill the space in. So, folks, why should you be interested in this? About a couple of years ago, there was a real void in the WordPress ecosystem. Basically, there was no native way of doing marketing automation that effectively with a native solution in WordPress. There was and still is a fantastic plugin called WP Fusion. Jack is a friend of mine, and that particular plugin works with a number of these new native WordPress CRMs. But a couple of years ago, its main strength was that it allowed you to integrate WordPress with external CRMs like Infusionsoft, ActiveCampaign, Keep. There's a whole host of these SaaS-based marketing automation platforms out there, and WP Fusion allowed you through its tagging mechanism to utilize the power of WordPress users and link it to external CRMs to do a number of really cool and interesting marketing automatizations that you would require. In the meantime, like I say, a couple of players have entered. One of the first was Groundhog. I actually think Fluent CRM is a more superior product, but me and Haroon would probably disagree with that. But I'm trying to move him to the brightness of Fluent CRM. So there we are. But there's more that have recently entered the market, which is the great thing around WordPress, that it's always a moving target. There's always new great products entering the area. Like I say, a couple of new ones have just recently entered that look really cool as well. But the main player that we're going to concentrate is Fluent. And what Fluent have done is they have built a really modern interface. They're from a really classy WordPress coding shop. The founder, Jill, is a great example of the best WordPress entrepreneurs. It's a classy company with a classy product. And I'm really pumped that we've got a really powerful native system that's really got a quality team behind that particular plugin. Hopefully Haroon can take over a little bit now. How are we doing, Haroon? Are you in a position?
Certainly.
Right, over to you, Haroon.
Thank you, Jonathan. So, I'll share my screen now. Okay, entire screen.
There we go. I add it to the stream. There we go.
Perfect. Okay, so as you see, we've got bare bones fresh WordPress install with Fluent Forms, Fluent CRM, and we're probably not going to touch Fluent Forms and Fluent SMTP in session, and we're just going to activate Fluent CRM for now. Once we activate it, we get this Fluent CRM section added right below the WordPress dashboard. And now we should be able to also access. When activating, there's supposed to be a wizard. Yes. So when we visit that section for the first time, we get a wizard to help us figure a bit of information about our business when we start. So let's just call this WP-Tonic. Awesome way. What city shall we add over here?
Oh, London, of course.
London, and London, England, or London somewhere in the US?
There is only one London, Haroon. That's
there is some London in the US as well, in some state. I don't remember which state, but there is one.
I'm talking about the real thing, Haroon. Right.
And you can upload your logo over here as well. But for now, I'm clicking next. And over here, you can start setting up some lists. For example, let's say you have a list of leads for product A, or let's say membership prospects. So let's go, and these could be coaching prospects. So let's say you've got two primary segments that you want to create. These are the two primary type of prospects that you want to deal with. You can add as many more as you want. Let's just start off with these. And then there are tags. So I had also previously discussed this in one of our sessions on CRMs for WordPress and CRMs in general. I personally find the presence of lists and tags redundant. I'm an advocate for simplicity, and I think that when the two essentially do the same job, having tags is like introducing another level of complexity that we don't really need. So I would personally use either lists or tags, and generally not both. But hey, if you want to create addition to lists, up to you. I personally
Well,
would skip one or the other.
yes, I totally agree with you, and I think it's something we really need to emphasise. If you want the full power of this, really, you should really go to a tagging system. Um, but if you're used to lists, just keep using them, and then. But the worst scenario is
Yes.
mixing tagging with lists. That will cause you some problems, folks. So but if you want mine, I'll be fascinated to see Haroon's. Is that really you should try and get your mind wrapped around tagging and using tagging as quickly as possible.
So for the sake of it, since I've added two lists, I'm just gonna add a tag of influencer, and something is wrong. Okay, I don't think anything could be wrong. Okay, success. So we've set the basic, and over here it's offering us to share some data and opt email list. I don't see the need to do that. So let's complete the installation. Now, if you're coming in from some other CRM, you can go ahead to import your contacts right away. In fact, I'm going to open it in a new tab so that we can take a look. Or you can just go to the CRM dashboard by clicking this link. And over here, the contacts interface that we open in a new tab, it's basically just the same contacts interface if you land on dashboard and go to contacts. Yes. And over here, you have the option to import contacts. So let's say you're coming from Infusionsoft or Active or Campaign Monitor or any such system. It will allow you to export a CSV file, and then you can use that CSV file and map the fields, let's say first name to first name, last name to last name, email address, and all whatnot, as you would expect, to get that data into this new installation of Fluent CRM. Otherwise, you can, like, if it's a new site, if it's a new system, if you're just getting started with CRM and you can't find any context here because that's something that you're gonna have to set up through, firstly, opt-ins, which are forms that you place on your site in different strategic locations, where you give your visitors something in return for their email address. Let's say you can give them a how-to guide, access to a premium video, the first lesson of a course, free access to first lesson of a course by getting their email address, so that you get them into your CRM, you get them into your funnels, you get them into your automations, and that allows you to market to them. That's the whole purpose of a CRM and marketing automation solution. Other ways of populating your contacts over here would be something that we're going to see in settings shortly. You can sync your WordPress users. So let's say you have a site where you have members already, or let's say you have a site that has WooCommerce. You have customers already as WordPress users. You would definitely want to start off with your existing customers or your existing members as the starting list for your CRM, for your marketing automation. So that can also be synced using settings that we're going to see shortly. So directly importing data, these are a few ways to start populating your contact lists. Over here under contacts, we've got all contacts. We can also go to lists and, sorry about this, and take a look at the lists that we've created. So these are the two lists that we had created. And over here, we've also got tags. You can visit it directly from here as well. And here are the tags that we've created. Custom lists, and these tags have no subscribed contacts, but that's fine. Since we've just started using the system, we're exploring its features. And in segments, so lists and tags are segmentation methods of their own, but then Fluent CRM offers a feature called dynamic. And for that, we'll need to install the pro version. So I'm going to, in a different tab, open up the the site. Actually, let me show this to you for now. And over here, you can buy the pro version. You can see the pricing down below. You can see all that it integrates with WooCommerce, Easy Digital Downloads, LearnDash, Affiliate WP, Lift, WP Fusion as well. If you want to, let's say, build an integration with a third-party CRM, in certain situations there is a need to do that, but in most scenarios I would personally avoid something as complicated. And then MemberPress, Paid Membership Pro, Wishlist Members, Buddy Boss, Automator WP, Uncanny Automator, Oxygen, Mentor Forms, Restrict Content Pro, Gamey Press, you name it. You see pretty much every major player in the WordPress industry over here, with more integrations coming soon. And with webhooks, you can set up integrations with Zapier, Pabbly, Integromat, Integrately, and through these, pretty much any service that supports Zapier, Integromat, Integrately, and Pabbly, you can connect to your site. So the possibilities truly are endless. And yeah, let's get to the pricing. So you can buy a single site license for 129, or 5 site license for 249, or a 50 site license for 499 per year. They had a lifetime deal which was limited time only, and I don't think they offer that anymore, but they've got this Black Friday and Cyber Monday discount coming up, so you might want to avail that 40% off. So yeah, once you've created an account, after purchasing the plugin, you can log in and get access to your license key. I'm going to now take this to this second to prevent exposure of Jonathan's license key.
That would be very appreciated, Arun.
And now let me also install and activate the pro version from here. So to install the pro version, you just go to plugins, add new, and install the downloaded zip file. And then activate the plugin. And once you've activated plugin and activated, you'll need to activate its license by going to its settings. To do that, over here in license management, we can enter the license key and verify the license. I'm going to do this in a separate window for now and get back to you once it's been activated. Okay, now if I refresh this, the license should be active. All right, so now we have access to all of the premium versions. So let's go back to contacts and let's check out segments. So these dynamic segments are they consist of lists that are automatically generated by Fluent CRM without your intervention. So this one segment that has all WordPress users, it's a default system defined segment. We can create another custom segment, set the conditions to be true for users to be added to this segment. For example, we can have a segment of users who belong to multiple lists. So that segment could be like all prospects could be uh, all users who are in membership prospects or coaching prospects. So this could be all prospects. So this could be a dynamic segment of all prospects. You get the idea. This is just one idea of a conditional statement over here. We can add multiple conditions. So let's say they are in both of these, and at the same time, their last contact activity was within 30 days. So this could be all active prospects. As long as they're in these lists and their last activity was within the past 30 days, uh, they would become part of this dynamic segment. And we can filter them based on their is like whether they've uh, opened and clicked links within the emails that they've received in, let's say, the past month or so. But since we haven't sent emails out yet, so there's no point in enabling it. But let's say we enable it, we can set conditions about whether or not they've clicked links in emails in the past, let's say 60 days, or whether they've opened emails in the past 90 days. You get the drift. But for now, I'm going to disable this and just create this custom segment. And naturally, since there are no contacts in the original list, there aren't going to be any contacts in this dynamic segment that we created, but you get the idea of how useful this sort of segmentation can be when you want to really narrow down on the type of contacts on the sort of contacts that you want in any of your campaigns. And that brings us to campaigns, which is the section right below contacts. Over here, we can create and manage our email campaigns. So let's say we create a new email campaign. Let's call it November prospects offer. November 17th prospects offer. Always name your campaigns in a way that you can recognize it at a single glance. So this is just more of an arbitrary name based on today's date, but you should always try to name your campaigns in a way that you can instantly them. And to give you some further hints, this is one way of naming campaigns that I prefer. I start with square brackets, and let's say if it's an offer, then I'm gonna start with something like offer or offers in square brackets, and then maybe add a date and then mention something about what this offer contains. November 17th special discount, maybe special discount on courses. Drift. Let's save it. And over here, you can just start writing the email. And by the way, you get a few templates set up by default. You get a simple box template, you get a plain centered template, you get a plain left aligned template. you get this classic editor, this classic WordPress editor template, and you get the raw HTML option to start writing composing your email. This raw HTML option is really useful if you have purchased email templates from some third party that provide you with HTML templates. So you can just paste that HTML in here, edit it accordingly, and insert the replacement tags where necessary, and you're good to go. And this plus lets you insert different types of, so this is like the Gutenberg editing experience. It lets you insert different excuse me, different content types into what you're building. It may or may not be available across all templates. It's obviously not going to be available in the classic editor and in the raw HTML, but in the other three templates, it's available. It lets you insert different types of content blocks over here. So let's say we've got this paragraph over here. Then we might want to add a button. Where do we have buttons? Yes. And maybe center align everything, center align this button. Where are the alignment options for it? Okay, so apparently there are alignment options, but that's fine. And over here, you just compose your email that we haven't heard from you in a while. Here's a 30% discount on our courses to bring you back. Maybe something, add a link and text to the button. Let's say, avail your exclusive discount now. Wherever you want them to go on the site to avail that discount, you can add the link over here, or you can just add a discount coupon code in the email. It's entirely up to you. For now, I'm just gonna send them to the main page. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Composing, you can go as crazy or as simple with the template. I recommend keeping these email templates as simple as possible. Maybe a heading up top, and then some text, and then a call to action button. Provide them with just the right amount of information. Don't overwhelm them. But hey, some people have more success with fancy email templates. So whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. And then we continue. Once we've composed the email, we continue to subject and heading. Haven't heard from you. Here's a discount, or maybe exclusive discount to help you get started. Pre-header, up to you whether you want to set it or not. Custom from name and email. This is always a good idea to use because by default, WordPress might just use this something like administrator at wp-tonic.happy.cloud, in this case, something like that as the from email. You don't want that. You want from email address that is authentic, exists, and or even if it doesn't exist, there's a reply to associate, so that when someone hits reply, they actually send email to an address that exists. and your email sender reputation also depends on the email address that you're sending from. If it's a spoofed address, an address that you don't control, an address that your sending service isn't configured to, which we're gonna come to later, then yeah, you're not gonna have success reaching your customers' inboxes in the first place. So let's say we as offers at wp.com, or maybe something like hello at wp-tonic.com, and from name would be WP-Tonic, reply to name would be WP-Tonic, but maybe we want the reply to go to jonathan@wp-tonic.com, so we can do that. And for those who want to manage email campaigns using universal UTM tags, UTM parameters, you can this over here and enter the campaign source, medium, name, term, and content as you wish to manage your campaigns with these universal tags. And if you need them, then you'd already know what each of these fields are for. If you have no idea what these fields are for, you probably don't need them at this stage. And then it's here to send a test mail. We're not going to do that right now because we haven't configured a sending service yet. Because in this session, we're just going to explore the features of the CRM. We're going to actually go ahead with configuration of a sending service.
Yeah, I think that's great, but I think let's just touch the topic, because I think this really causes a bit of confusion for newbies.
Mm-hmm.
This great plugin, it's not going to send the emails out for you.
Yes.
It's not like Active Campaign, folks. It's not like Drip. It won't, or Infusion, or what I call Confusionsoft. It won't do that for you, but and we are going to be dealing with that in probably part 2 of this, but that's the main thing. You've got to set up a system that will send those emails out, which Fluent CRM, you can set up all the triggers, all the amazing things that Haroon's shown you, but it won't send out the email. But we're going to be showing you that. What do you reckon, Haroon? Did I do a good job there?
Absolutely, yes. And this isn't Fluent CRM. This is this applies particularly to like every self-hosted solution that you may use for CRM and marketing automation purposes, or even something more basic than CRM and marketing automation, something like that just lets you manage lists and send email blasts to those lists. So be it WordPress native like MailPoet, or Groundhog, or Fluent CRM, or Autonomy, or just the native WordPress emails, the password reset emails, LearnDash emails. When you have a self-hosted system that sends out emails, it's not a good idea to let it use whatever is there by default to send those emails, because what's there by default is your web hosting system's PHP mailing system, or configured email accounts on your web host. Even then, you'd need to configure those email accounts with WordPress to make everything from WordPress send emails using those accounts. So there is a configuration required. And outside of WordPress, you can be using something like, which is a self-hosted alternative to something like MailChimp, and it lets you install a script on a server and connect it with Amazon SES as the sending service, without
Yeah,
which it does
I
nothing.
think you're going down a rabbit hole now, because this is
Mhm.
101 we're dealing
Yeah.
with here. So I think we can have that particular conversation the next video, because
Yes.
the language rapidly becomes, how to put it, Haroon, more and more complicated, with more and more buzzwords as we
I agree.
continue on this journey, doesn't it, Haroon?
I agree. I agree. So yeah, let's come back to this campaign that we were configuring. Assuming that we had set up a sending service, which we're going to do in the next lesson. Over here, we can select what list to send this to. So we've got our coaching prospects list, we've got our membership prospects list.
Oh, he's frozen. Oh.
List segment, yeah, all contacts with the tag influencer. We can also exclude contacts. So send to all membership prospects, and let's say we want to send to those who have the tag in, and we don't want to send this email to those who are on the list coaching prospects. So we can do that by using exclusions and inclusions. We can have multiple inclusions. So for now, I think just one would be fine. Let's remove this. And then as the last step, okay, so we're getting an error found based on our filters, which makes sense because we don't have any subscribers yet. But you get the idea. In the last step, you can review what you're sending and hit the send button, or schedule it to be sent at a later time. And so this is like an ad hoc email. Let's take a look at email sequences. In email sequences, let's say new course prospect nurture. Let's remove new course prospect nurture. So we can create a series of emails, and just like we created individual emails, we can create emails as part of. And then once we've created emails as part of the sequence, like while creating, we can specify the delay between, like when this email would go out. Let's say from the start of the sequence, it's gonna go out on like day 0, right when it starts, and its sending time range could be between let's say 9 a.m. To, let's say, 10 a.m. And we can write whatever we want over here. Nurture email 1. Obviously, I'm not going to start creating content during these tutorials. You have to know you need to send out to your users. We're going to handle the technical aspects. So I'm going to save this. Oh, we have to provide the subject. Yes. Nurture email 1. Let's save this. And let's go back. We can add another sequence email. This one, let's say, goes out after 3 days. And we can add the sending time range over here as well. Or we can enable it to be sent on specific week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whichever. Let's say we want it to be sent on Thursday only. We can do that. For now, let's just put a delay of 3 days and call it nurture email 2. You get the drift. We save it. So now you see that we sequence with these two emails, add as many as we want to it. And then we can have different forms that will subscribe contacts to this sequence. We can view the subscribers that are currently subscribed to it. We can view the emails, like which gets us back to the first view. So how is going to be something that we see in the next session. But today we're just starting off with how to create certain sequences of emails that you might want to go to people who have done something like filled out and submitted, or let's say purchased a product, or enrolled in a course, or maybe clicked a link even. We can enter them into a sequence based on that as well. So for now, today you're going to learn how to create these sequences, and in the next lesson, when we've got after we've gone through the actual sending services and added some demo contact sequences, then we're gonna take a look at actually actually adding people to these sequences to start sending them these emails.
Right.
And
I think we got a couple of quick questions,
mhm,
and then I think we'll wrap it up, because I think we
mhm,
actually got through a fair bit now for somebody starting on this journey, and we've
mhm,
thrown enough techno babble at people. Should fill their
mhm.
minds. We would, like I say, for totally understandable reasons, we were going down the rabbit hole, as you do when you're talking about this subject, don't you, Haroon? But I've got
Absolutely.
a couple of questions that don't make much sense to me at the present moment. But is it possible? Right. So we've got a question from somebody called RP. Is it possible to customize delivery with your own delivery service using Fluent SRM and Forms?
Yes, you can use your own delivery service, such as your
Can
any
you
SMTP
explain? Can
service.
you explain the question? Because I couldn't even understand the question. Can you explain what he's asking first to the
I think
listeners?
I think they're trying to ask if we can choose a delivery service of our own choice, like our own web host, or let's say SendGrid or SES, or like whatever service we want to use as the actual email delivery service. So the answer is yes. One of the one of the sending service integrations that Fluent CRM supports, because it's by the same developer, is called Fluent SMTP. So it's a WordPress plugin, and this might be a bit misleading. It does not only support SMTP, it also supports Amazon SES, and it supports SendGrid, and it supports Postmark. It supports some services using their API or using their SMTP feature. So yes, you can use Fluent SMTP to integrate with Amazon SES or SendGrid or Spark Post or Peppy Post or Sendinblue, Mailgun, Outlook, or pretty much any SMTP based on, or these non SMTP based and several other SMTP based services
Yeah.
as the actual delivery service.
Which I think, and it's totally free, isn't it? And I think it's
Yes.
become the most, I think most people that are serious about that use that particular plugin. It's become
Yes.
seen as the best plugin for that, isn't it? And they
Yes.
don't, and they're, I think they're quite respectable. They don't cripple it with loads of adverts, do they? I don't think
Yes.
they do that,
True.
do
Absolutely agreed. Unlike some other plugins that, after having been taken over by some developers, they've been laden with ads, and it's just ruined the experience.
they? Yes, to say the least. They will remain nameless because we're
Yes.
about happiness and joy here and giving
Yes.
information, not slagging off the competition.
True.
I've got a reputation of being gar fodder on Twitter, which I've I've gone to Twitter re-education school, Haroon, and I'm trying to change my ways. I'm trying not to vent so much, but there we go. Are there any other questions? Blah, 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 blah. I can't see any. No,
You mentioned there were 2 questions.
Oh, was there? Where's the other one, Haroon? Can you see?
I don't know.
Right, let's have a look.
Oh, okay. So here are the comments. Yeah, now I can see the comments.
I'm not seeing communicating between them and customer. Oh, hi guys. Please consider topic private delivery for an online store working in conjunction with the owner of the site, seller, buyer, driver of the delivery service and communication. Also the connection between how to customize forms, CRMs, so they work in a great bundle. Did that make any sense to you, Haroon?
There's way too much going on in this question. Like,
It sounds like one of my questions, doesn't it, Haroon?
no, it does not. Your questions usually they instantly make sense to me. This one instantly didn't make sense to me. I had to read it like twice or thrice. But
It didn't make any
seems,
sense to me. Is it making any sense for you?
It seems they want one solution that lets them, as a seller, manage communication with their buyers, with the buyers on their site, which is something like Fluent CRM can help you with. But drivers of the delivery service, now that's a different system altogether, because the delivery service that you'd be using would be very local to your region, to your country, and they probably wouldn't be coming on your, like, logging into your WordPress website to see delivery. They've got some other system integrated with yours. I don't know like how that works with what you're using. So there's no single.
Isn't Adam Plazier from WP Crafter, aren't they? Isn't he in his plugin empire? He's producing a plugin service for delivery, isn't he? Taking orders and that. I think so. So that might be, I'm sure they probably add some email system to it. So maybe go and have a look at that. I'm sure Adam's up to something around that. Didn't he announce it a few weeks ago or something, didn't he, Aaron?
Maybe, but that's something that I haven't looked at.
Well, something you don't know, Haroon. I can't tell you. He's normally much more up with it than me, but there we go. I'm surprising, Haroon. All right, that's enough English sarcasm for the listeners and for Haroon. So I think we're going to wrap it up now, Haroon, because I think we've tried to answer some complicated questions. We tried to give a 101. We've tried not to go down the rabbit hole of language that will lose almost everybody. But we'll be back next Wednesday at around the same time for part 2. Please join us, Tribe, where we're going to be showing you the power of Fluent CRM with Fluent CRM Forms. We'll be back next week. See you later, folks. Bye.